Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Drunk Movie Review. This is a weekly podcast. We upload the video version to YouTube every week, so you can check that out. My name is Vetta, and as always, I am joined by my brother, Matt.
Hi, everybody.
Today, we will be talking about Malignant, which you can check out on HBO Max.
Yeah, can I just say something real quick about HBO Max? They have the best content, but the worst fucking interface. Like, I get so annoyed. It's so hardcore. It's so obnoxious. I'm just like, I just can't handle it. Okay.
It is a lot. You're like, yeah.
Like
I have every streaming service out there, like, because we don't have real TV, we don't have cable or anything like that. We only do streaming services.
Right.
They suck.
Yeah, it's just the worst interface. I get so mad.
I'm
like, I just want to watch this fucking movie. I don't want to. Yeah. All right.
Alrighty. So first things first. What are you drinking?
Oh, you know me. I am drinking a lovely bottle of Merlot. Delicious.
I am having all things vodka. I have a nice little bottle of Tito's.
Nice.
I bought in Las Vegas and brought home because it was my leftovers. So I'm finishing it off today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. Sounds good.
I do have one glass of wine left. I opened a bottle of plum wine and I'm one of those. I don't put a bottle of wine back in the fridge. Once I take that bitch out, she gets finished. So I had one glass left. So I'm finishing that too.
I feel you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we're going to get started here because that's what we do.
Yeah.
So what was your overall, like, before you watch this movie, trailer, first thoughts? What was your expectations, views, all that jazz?
Well, in all honesty, I didn't know what to think about the trailer because I was like, I have no idea what this is about. But after watching, I like it. I liked it. At first I thought I wouldn't like it, but I did. I liked it. It was, I described it to Trisha, my wife, that it was kind of very 70s-ish horror movies.
Yeah.
But more modern. And yeah, I ended up liking it. You know,
I thought from the trailer I was gonna like it because how often do you see a big creepy hospital/asylum in the opening credits and it doesn't turn out to be a good movie? It's very rare. Very rare. So I was getting good vibes from the trailer, from the get-go, from the starting credits. I liked it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I thought I wouldn't like it, but as the movie went on, I was like, yeah, I'm totally digging this movie. But it's by James Wan. I don't know if you know him, but I like him. I just love him.
Yeah,
he's so good.
I do too.
So I will have to admit, though, that some of the acting was bad.
Was questionable.
Yeah, it was questionable. But again, I just liked it. I just liked it. Like, I'm all like, I was all like, yeah, just.
It was definitely a good, if you have a friend who doesn't like horror film, mind fucked, big twist movies, make them watch this. It'll be great. Video it, put it on the TikTok, the Snappy Chat, the Twitters, and all that jazz. I would say the Facebook, but I feel like only our moms on Facebook, so or grandmas. So don't share it with people on there. But yeah, I think it's a good all around fun movie for everybody.
Did you get scared at all during this movie?
No.
Yeah, I didn't get scared either. Like,
when was the last time you saw a horror film or a sci-fi film that scared you?
That's a good point. I thought I would get scared, but then nothing jumped out at me. I was like,
I mean, the only thing I got scared about was, you're a twin. It's about twins. I was all like, oh my God, which one of my brothers is this fucking about?
Oh, well, I'd probably be the parasitic twin.
You totally would.
I was the second one. But I always look at,
you'd be the girl. You'd be the bitch. No, Marlon would beat you into submission.
Who you calling a bitch? You watch your mouth, whore. Anyways.
Whatever. Marlon would be the evil one.
Well, like Marlon always was all like, I was like, listen, you came out first and God took a step back and he said, I can do way better than that. And then he made me. But he always goes like, you're just a Paris, like you're just the leftovers. And I was like, oh, I am not
First
leftovers.
Is the worst, second is the best. That's what you should tell him.
Yeah, no. I do have to say though, in that first scene though, that husband was really mean. He was like hardcore mean. Like I was like when he was all like
abusive husband. That's when he was what they do. They're not nice.
Yeah, I love how he was playing the football game and they could barely hear each other talking. They're like, how was your work week or whatever? And
it'd be like, great if you just didn't work at all.
Yeah, and then she like turns off the game and he's like, I was watching that. I was like, hey, fucker, could you hear what she was saying? Because I could.
You were talking to her?
Yeah, I was watching this movie and I could barely. I had the closed caption on. I was like, I don't know what she's saying.
I love watching movies with closed caption because you realize how fucking hard of hearing you are when all of a sudden you read the words and go, well, that's not what I thought they said.
Yeah, but when he said that line about I'm sick and tired of seeing my babies die inside you, I was like, hey, that was mean. That was really mean.
That was really mean. And fucker, you probably caused it. Maybe you shouldn't beat your wife when she's pregnant. Exactly. Actually, you shouldn't beat her at all, but you really shouldn't beat her when she's pregnant. If you really want the baby to live.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like him. And then he died. And I was like, okay, I don't feel bad.
Well, he died because he woke up Gabriel with the head bashing, spoiler, against the wall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So.
Which I'm not 100% sure I'm buying that shit, but that's fine.
No, it's totally cool.
Oh, sorry.
I can't talk during this. You're the one leading this podcast.
But it was great. Your eyes did like that clock thing that the cat clocks in like 60s movies do. It was awesome.
Great. I love editing this shit out. Keep it up.
All right. So now that you've talked about your overall views, you want to tell me what your likes are. What'd you like about the movie?
Okay, so the first
no, let's back that up.
Yeah, let's back it up.
Sort of. So now
because my daddy taught me good.
I think you're gonna have to edit that. Let's talk about your dislikes. I feel like that's gonna be the shorter list today. Let's talk about the dislikes. It
is a shorter list, my dislikes, because I only have I think I only have like 2 things. Okay, so I found the sister a little annoying. The blonde sister.
She was my one that I questioned about the acting.
Yeah, I didn't think she was.
There's a reason she's a princess at Family Plan.
Yeah, I just didn't think she was the best actor. In fact, she's my only dislike really, because I just didn't think she was like the best actress out of everybody. And I love how the whole time she's just trying to get that dick. Like she's just trying to get that good D from
she's
that.
All like detective.
Yeah, exactly. The whole time. And then like she's trying to like when they go into her house and she's all like trying to like be like, she wouldn't do this. And I'm all like, honey, like, we got it. You want the D. We get it. Move on. He's not, he's just not that into his
DMs after your sister's in jail and tell him how scared you are and need his shoulder to cry on.
Yeah. Because nobody's believing that your sister's not a psycho. Okay. Right. Nobody's believing that. That's really the only thing on my dislike list.
I did not like the creepy, like the doctor in the beginning, Dr. Weaver. She wasn't creepy until she said, you have to cut out the cancer. I was like, that line, I like get it. It's Malignant. That's the name of the movie. But that was the dumbest line in the whole movie. Gabriel's not a cancer. He's a parasitic twin. And I didn't like the whole, like after the husband dies, like she starts boarding up the house.
Like, yeah, right. Like she's waiting for the zombie apocalypse. Right? That's a good point. I forgot about that.
Up the like ivy vine. I don't know how the sister got to the second floor window. Her go-go gadget legs.
Right.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
Hello.
You're gonna let me in? Like not anymore, psycho.
I would have let you in if you knocked like a normal person, but I'm having a psychotic break and you just showed up at my window.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's an excellent point.
So yeah, and this isn't really a dislike or a like. It's more of a, it was never really answered for me. Why, when, or how does he control electricity?
Oh, that's a good
He's
point
a
too.
parasitic twin. He's not the X-Men, for fuck's sake.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Like when he made that guy's pacemaker explode, I'm all like, but now that you say that, I'm all like, yeah, that's a good point. All of a sudden he turns into, a superhuman. Like, what's that all about? Like, he's got super strength.
Neato all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
he's got super strength and he controls electricity.
I'm like
the Dr. Weaver was all like, somebody was all like, it seems like he's feeding off the electricity. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, what's that all about? Like,
well, because my whole thing is like, I know that she said that, but wait a minute. The sister said he was feeding off of the fetuses. That's why all of her babies died. So fetuses don't make electricity. So how is he being sustained by electricity and fetuses? Like, that was a really terrible add to the movie. It made no sense.
Now that you say that, I agree. I totally agree. They should have explained that better.
Yeah. How long did it take you to figure out that Maddie was the killer? Like,
well, I have to be honest with you. I was on Twitter and somebody on Twitter was all
I avoid everything dealing with what we're gonna watch.
Well, somebody was on Twitter was like, do not avoid the internet until you see this movie. And then somebody had DM'd me, Yutaka from the Horror Hour. Go check out their podcast. And he was like, have you seen it yet? And I was like, no, what's the twist? And then he just told me, I love
the bookstore that flips to the last chapter and reads it. And that's how you decide if you're going to buy the book.
Well, I love spoilers. So I was all like, so as soon as he DM'd me, I was all like, tell me what's doing, honeybee. And I was like, Daddy needs snow. I was like,
DM Yutaka, just ask him if you called him honeybee.
No, I didn't. But I'm always like, I'm always like with people, whenever anybody online is all like, just saw this movie. I'm all like, spill the tea, sis. Daddy wants to know. I love spoilers so much. I love them. So I knew right away.
Down because you always make fun of me that I'm always like, I knew it. I wrote down 59 minutes in, at exactly 59 minutes and like 12 seconds. I was like, Maddie's the murderer.
Well, I knew the second one. Okay, fucker.
She's all queen. I knew it before I watched it. I'm that good.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, I did write down stuff that because it's always different from here, like reading it to seeing it. So I did write thoughts down when they flipped the switch.
Yeah.
One thing that I did have the first thing I had on my like list though. Are we going into likes now?
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, I was done. You were done. We're moving on. There wasn't really a ton that disliked.
I wrote down that black detective lady. She was my favorite character in the whole fucking movie.
She kind of gave me a Wanda Sykes vibe.
Oh my God, I wrote that down. I was like, why didn't they hire Wanda Sykes for this role?
Was Wanda Sykes busy, or did she want too much money and they just found her stunt double?
They should have paid her because listen, this lady, I loved her. Like my favorite was when they're talking to the sister and she's all like, I played a psychic on a TV show once and the detective said that this really happens, and she's like, are we really having this conversation right now? And then she was
just imagine Wanda Sykes going, girl, that's not a thing.
Right?
Shut up, you stupid.
Yeah, they should have hired Wanda Sykes. Like, I just loved it. Like, I love this character so much. She was my favorite character in the whole movie. And I love when what did she say? Like, she was all like, are we having or are you going to tell me it was your imaginary friend and everything?
Calls. She's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, this ain't your normal case. You should have called that psychic.
Right. She was definitely my favorite character through the whole movie. I like laughed when she said stuff, and like whenever she was around, it made me happy.
Same. I loved her.
I also really liked the real quick, this is just a little note, but I also really like the the visual effects of when she did the little switcheroo and the background melted away and then it came up to wherever the murder took place. I really liked that a lot.
Yeah, that was a nice little thing with the whole like real life prediction, sleeping, you know, all of that stuff. I thought that was a nice little added effect.
Yeah, I really liked it a lot because it was like they filmed it and then they just melted like the like wax. It just melted away. I just really liked that a lot.
Or it came to be because at the end, doesn't she like actually turn it into it when she does the anyways. Okay, but we came across, this is one thing. It was important to the story, but it was something that we've talked about before that we're not a huge fan of, but I didn't dislike it in this. She's a tiny little size 4, 5'8" female, and she took out a whole fucking Seattle police department.
But I have to say with that, she is not when she's Gabriel. She's superhuman because
but think about at the end.
He threw a hospital bed. Those fuckers are heavy.
Yeah, but she lifts it up off of her sister at the end, and she's all, "It's my body the whole time."
That's an excellent point too. I don't fucking know. Like
it made for great movies, so I do like it on that aspect. Like, I'm not gonna fault them. I mean, the walking backwards thing, were you not like, this is
I wrote that's
creepy.
In my likes. That's in my likes
because it was creepy, and
it was so creepy
shit.
And when she pulled
her skull over in the jail cell to bring out Gabriel,
we have to talk about that in a little bit, but go back to the backwards thing. We'll talk about that. Just hold on, fucker. Yeah. So she's like, you're just jumping all over the place. 2 seconds.
Had a few drinks. Calm
have
down.
A sip of something. Have a sip.
Okay.
Have a sip. Take a sip real quick. I'll take a sip. So back to the backwards thing. I really loved it a lot. I thought it was, like you said, it was creepy, but I loved it. I just loved it. And Yutaka, our friend Yutaka over at the Horror Hour, he mentioned that they had hired a woman who trained to do everything backwards. Like, she ran backwards. She did all of her stunts backwards and everything. So I thought that was really cool. I really liked it a lot.
I was going to say, it looked like it took a ton of training because it looked so natural. It kind of gave me the same vibes as like the movie The Grudge, you know, when the little spirity woman. What?
Isn't that what that woman does in The Grudge?
Yeah. She goes, yeah. But when she walks,
this will be great for our listeners. Anyways.
But when she walks, she does that whole, even though she's crawling and walking forward, she has that all same breaking movements as Maddie does when Gabriel takes over her body and moves backwards. I thought it was a great visual. It worked really well, and it freaked you out a little bit because you were like, wait, my body doesn't work like that. This is not.
For sure. Yeah, I did like it. I did like it a lot. It was really good.
Yeah.
I also liked I liked the whole parasite thing.
I love the parasitic twin. As the sister of twins, I went, this is creepy. This is cool. Which one of my brothers would have been the parasitic twin?
As soon as it happened, I was all like, I immediately thought, you remember that scene from My Big Fat Greek Wedding where the woman's all like, when I was born, I had a lump on my shoulder. And they did a babapsy. And inside the lump, they found teeth and a spinal cord. Yes, inside the lump was my twin. You guys hungry? Eat, and everything. That's I immediately jumped to that. I was all like, that's so funny.
And then you get to see teeth.
Yeah. You get to see teeth. All right, now let's talk about that reveal because I wrote down as soon as she pulled that face back, I was like, oh, y'all done fucked up.
I mean, you couldn't have pulled the teeth. Like, you were all like, we had to leave some behind so we didn't kill Maddie. You had to leave the teeth.
Oh yeah,
You really had to leave the teeth.
Yeah,
You couldn't have pulled them.
I was like, Gabriel's ugly.
His little, you know what his arms reminded me of when the video camera comes around and it shows his little body? It reminded me of the original Total Recall.
Oh yeah, that's so with the stomach person. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Okay, well, since we're talking about the reveal of Gabriel, I did write down that his face was creepy just because it's like one eye and then like it's like one eye and like teeth. That's all it is.
Did you in the original beginning scene in the hospital, did you think it was human or did you go, this is alien? Because it gave the little girl feet with like the girl panda socks, but then it gave you the whole tarp.
If I wouldn't have known. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, just the frosted view and then the distorted head and everything. I kind of was like, and she was also insistent on, we can help you, Gabriel. She never mentioned Maddie.
Yeah, at first I'm not gonna lie. If I hadn't known, my first instinct would have been it's a completely different person.
I didn't even think it was a person. I honestly thought that this was like an alien. Like,
oh, gotcha.
That was like, I thought maybe this was going to be like a half-breed situation or a spacecraft crashed and the only survivor was like a baby or something. I don't know. I did not see parasitic twin.
Right.
I didn't even, and even when I predicted at 59 minutes that Maddie was the murderer, I still hadn't gotten the whole parasitic twin thing out of that.
Right on. Yeah, no, I agree with that. If I wouldn't have known the spoiler, I wouldn't have guessed that it was a parasitic twin.
I did like it though. That was an excellent twist. Kudos to that.
Yeah, I did like it too. I did like it a lot. I did write down can we go back to when she's in the jail cell with all those other women?
Yeah.
So I wrote down right off the bat because I was watching it, and I mean, me and you do the same thing where we watch the movie and then we watch it a second time, and that's when we do our notes. Yeah. But I immediately, it's at the top of my piece of paper. I wrote down putting her in this cell is a bad idea.
I wrote this started in 1993 and is ending in 1989.
Because I know. Well, this is what I wrote down. I wrote down Joe Dirt and Foxy Brown should back the fuck off.
I seriously wrote it started in 1993 and ended in 1989.
Well, because you had Foxy Brown. She had the big old
fucking mullet.
Foxy Brown had an afro and a fucking, bell
bottoms in a jumpsuit.
And then Joe Dirt had like a fucking
denim on denim.
Yeah, she had denim, that's a jean jacket. And I'm all like, they need to back the fuck off. And I love how she transforms into Gabriel where she pulls her head back, which was gross, by the way. I was like, ugh. And then I love how they're all like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, y'all done fucked up. Y'all done fucked up real quick.
You kicked her one too many times. The quiet girl in the corner is the one you shouldn't.
Right. Yeah, exactly. With. And then I love how Joe Dirt kept throwing bitches at her, just all like.
And did you notice each bitch came from a different era and time?
Right, yeah, like 90s bitch. And
you had the fur with the leopard print. You had the what they call those in the 70s, hot pants, like roller girl in there.
It was I was like, you're the one that kicked the shit out of her. And now you're all like, hey, go fight her. Good luck.
Place in Halloween and they arrested all these bitches at a party.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And then And then she just tore the fuck out of that police station. I mean, like, she just tore those assholes up like hardcore. I was all like,
and I'm not gonna lie though, if I was a police officer and some bitch, I just watched her take down 12 police officers, I'm not coming at her. I'm finding the nearest exit.
Yeah, well, the whole time
something's not right with her.
yeah, the whole
My
time
union rep would tell me not
my
to fight
union
it.
yeah, because I was very much like when they were shooting guns I was like, why don't you guys get in a line and start shooting at her? I'm all like, stop getting all close, like you can fight her, because she's obviously beating people up.
Hand combat's not
Right,
your
yeah.
straight. Use the gun.
Yeah, she's got a fucking Hermes knife and shit. She's so
and I really wish it would have been Wanda Sykes, because when she got cut in the stomach, she would have had something.
Hell no.
Right. I feel like Wanda Sykes would have had a way better line.
Right on. Yeah, no, I did write down oh, sorry, it's late. I did write down that the kills were brutal. Like when she kills,
there was tons of blood and gore. Like,
when
the
she
body
kills
count is crazy.
Yeah, when she kills that one doctor in bed and she's just stabbing him in the face, I was like, oh, she's going hardcore on his ass. I was like,
you know what they say about stabbings? It's a personal kill.
Oh, for sure. And then I did write down, at the more at the beginning, I was trying to figure out who the museum lady was. You know, she was all like underneath the city. She's all like,
this is the tour guide.
Yeah, which ended up being their mother.
Mom.
Yeah, I was all like, who is this woman? And then she keeps her in the attic and everything. But I'm going to tell you right now, I laughed so much harder than I should have when she fell through that ceiling. I laughed.
Who has an industrial sized fan in the wall of their attic?
Yeah, in their in.
Showed the house from the outside.
Sweet Pea. Okay, hold on. You need to repeat that because you reached a whole nother pitch level that it was muted. Like it was. All I heard was I'm. So
it happens when I drink.
It does happen. That's our family.
I swear the lighting in my house reflects like how high I get. See, I just
hello, Gabriel. How are you?
No, I'm just saying that they kept showing that fan. Okay, we saw that house. It's like a, older house, like not a Victorian, but there was no window in that house that was big enough for an industrial size fan.
Yeah, that you would have seen that fan from the front of it, which we saw plenty of times because she falls into the living room right when they're leaving the front door.
It's not like she fell into the fucking kitchen, which is at the back of the house.
Yeah, I laughed, but when she fell, I laughed so hard. I had to pause it because I was laughing so hard. I was like,
and at first I didn't realize it was her. Like I knew it was her, but like my brain did not register that it was her. I was just like, oh shit, her house is falling apart. She's got a parasitic twin that's killing people. I thought of the movie Money Pit,
I love that movie.
But that's what I thought of. I didn't think of the whole mom, but I was like, when the tour came up and the mom was in tour, I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything?
That's what I thought too, right? And then he kidnapped her. I'm like, why is he kidnapping this bitch? What's she got to do?
Did he not like the tour?
Right, exactly. Right. Does he not like the? I want a refund, bitch.
He doesn't even give her a chance to say yes. He just ties her up in the attic.
Speaking of which, I love how all the people were paying at the end of the tour. Like they were just like.
I think those were the tips. Like,
gotcha. Because I'm all like,
tip your waiter.
Yeah. Usually they take this shit at the beginning of this.
But
shit.
how did you like at the end? She opened the cash register and put all the money in her wallet.
Oh yeah. No, she didn't put it in her wallet. She just put it in her bag, like it just freeform in her bag.
Have had jobs where I had to close the till at the end of the night in my younger days. You put it in a baggie and you lock it, and then you put it in a safe that only things can go in, nothing comes out.
Right. She just put it in her backpack and was all like, I'll get it later and everything.
I'll write an IOU. It's fine.
Yeah. And that's better than money. Okay. That's just as good as money. That's a Ferrari. 500,000. I want to keep that one. Yeah. No, I did. I also love, and this goes to horror movie tropes when She shuts off all the lights and then she hears a sound and then she goes to like investigate. And I'm all like, why are you investigating? There's nothing to steal. You just took all the money. What are they going to steal? Your antique
Under
cash
the
register?
city.
Yeah,
You're
under the city. Yeah.
Under the city. They want to spend the night in the creepy ass old
Let them
burned
go
down
steal
city.
one of those fucking.
Let them.
Yeah,
They
go. Let them
want
go
the
steal.
floodlight? Fine. They're
Yeah.
$10 at Menards. Go buy a new one.
For sure. And let them steal one of those fucking old timey buggies. Like nobody cares. Like nobody cares. So speaking of which, I wrote down, okay, so then they go to the last doctor who gets killed in the bathtub, and the detective starts following the killer through
the whole fire escape
yeah,
scene.
yeah,
Were
which,
you not like,
yeah, when he was like when Gabriel excuse me, when he was like jumping from fire escape to fire escape, and I'm like, oh hell no, oh no, I'm good, because I'd have been like, what's going on here? And then like he's kicking out bricks and
but
shit.
even the detective goes, oh hell.
Yeah, I'm just like, why would you follow him? Like you have no backup. I'm all like, it was.
And you're
just,
watching that shit happen, you know he gonna kick your ass.
yeah, which I love how Gabriel runs from him, but he just kills every cop in that police
The one he
station.
chooses to run.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, no,
Maddie's all like, he's gonna bone my sister, so could you not kill him? She really needs the D. It's been a
right on.
while. Help a sister out.
Yeah, help a sister out. That is all I have in my notes as far as did you have anything else that you want to say?
No, not really. I just was like the biological mom at the end in the hospital bed with Oliver talking and stuff.
Please forgive me.
Yes, please forgive me. I'm like, dude, you're only asking him for forgiveness because he's trying to kill you. Don't die.
Yeah, because he's about to like murder you.
Right.
Murder you.
How does murder happen?
Hey Vetta, how does murder happen?
Oh. Sorry. Ew. I need a beverage. All right. So you got nothing else? Anything
I
else?
have nothing else.
Overall thoughts.
I have nothing else.
Do you have likes, dislikes, or no, we did that already. Never mind. So would you recommend, not recommend? What do you think?
I would recommend this movie for HBO. I wouldn't go see it in the movie theater just because even though I did like it, I would just, if you have HBO Max, watch it. And if you want to go see a movie in the movie theater, if you don't
find a friend, someone's got to mooch it off of them.
Yeah. I mean, like, I wouldn't be mad if I saw this in the movie theater, but this would not be a movie that I would have went and seen in the movie theater.
I might have pre-COVID, but after COVID, my view on movie theater movies has changed. Like I have a higher standard now.
Right on. Yeah. I pre-COVID, I wouldn't have seen this movie in the movie theater.
You wouldn't have?
No, just because like, I'm like, I mean, I don't know how your situation, I can only go like maybe once a month. So it's like, you got to pick the big blockbusters for me personally. And this wouldn't have been a big blockbuster.
Movies in my house are date night, especially if you go to the good movie theater with liquor, because not only do you get liquor in the movie theater, your ticket stub, you can take it to the restaurant next door and they give you 2 for 1.
Shut up. That's awesome. Yeah, no. Real quick side note, I just went and saw Shang-Chi and they had the movie theater.
What'd you think of that?
It was okay. The movie theater had a Shang-Chi inspired drink. It was delicious. I was only gonna have one. I had 4. It was so good. It was so fruity and it was red and everything. And I was like, this tastes like Kool-Aid. Oh, I was like,
well, that's like way back when Zombieland came out. They had a zombie inspired drink, and I was the same way. I was like, this tastes like a pixie stick.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's well, like, can't you just make it a little bit bitter? So I was like,
can you put this in one of those fish tank bowls and give me one of those really big straws so I can take it in with me? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I love when they do that.
I love it too.
Yeah. So I definitely think you should see this. It's fun. I was trying to figure out some kind of like drinking game you could play with this, because I do think first I was like, oh, you should do a shot every time Gabriel kills a cop. But then I was like, don't do that. You'll die. You'll die of alcohol poisoning. Don't do that game.
Right, but only at the end.
Right? Yeah, you'll think you're in the clear, you're fine, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, I gotta do 72 shots in
Right.
2 seconds. No.
Yeah.
So I couldn't come up with one. But I do love a good drinking game to go with a horror film, and I do think this was under a horror film. I thought at first,
Oh, absolutely.
it was gonna. When I first read it, I was like, saw the trailer. I thought it was more of a sci-fi mystery, but then I was like, nah, this is a full-on horror film with a nice psychological twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't understand where the electricity control comes in. So please, if somebody has the answer to that, DM us, because I'd love to know why he can control.
I honestly would like to know too.
So do you think they're going to make a second one? Because I do, because at the end there was the buzz with the light at the end. So I think they left it open. I'm not saying they're gonna make a second one, but if this one does well enough, they left it open that they could.
I agree with you that they left it open to make a sequel. I don't know if they will. Where do you go from here? If he does wake up from his little prison
she
cell,
has a baby and he attaches himself to the baby.
I'm just saying, like, if he starts killing again, we know who's doing it.
What if the baby what if she has a kid and the kid has a parasitic twin?
I mean, I guess so. I don't know.
I mean, it wouldn't be good. I ran through a bunch of scenarios in my head and I don't understand how it could be a good sequel.
Yeah, we're different. I ran through no scenarios through my head.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Alrighty. So now on to our next segment, because you are a twin.
I am.
And I am the sister of a twin.
You are.
I love when people say they had twins or they start talking about twins, because I'm like, oh my God, my little I like have to insert myself in the conversation. I have little brothers that are identical twins. And back when they were in second grade, wow. They won in, I think it's like Twinsboro, Ohio. They won second place in the most lookalike twins contest in the country.
I didn't win no second place, you stupid bitch. I won first place.
No, you didn't, because you smiled at the last minute and they saw you were missing a tooth and Marlon wasn't.
Okay.
So anyways, I love everything that deals with twins because I'm the big sister of twins that look so much alike. And I had super psychic powers that I could even tell you apart from behind, because you weren't that much of a lookalike, no matter what my mother said.
I love how you said behind. Like, you emphasize that very hardcore.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't. So anyway, so my question is what is your favorite movie involving twins?
Mine is the movie Twins.
With Danny DeVito.
With Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love it because there's so much. They don't look like twins, but I'm all like, they're not
paternal. They're not identical.
Yeah, it's totally within the realm of possibility. And I just love, first off, I love Danny DeVito. He's so good and he's just so funny. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is, all right. But Danny DeVito is the one that really sticks out for
twins in real life, because if you think about it, they're fraternal, and Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen are technically fraternal twins, even though they look alike.
Right on. Yeah, they could be twins. But yeah, no, I love that movie. It's funny.
And it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny, and it's like heartwarming at the end, when they're trying to find their mommy and everything. And I love how I called her a mommy. But I really do like that movie a lot.
So I did 3, because me, I can never pick just one.
Right on.
I did kind of a kid version, a version from when I was a kid, and then the movie that I would pick now. So my kids love The Parent Trap, and not the original, the one with Lindsay Lohan, which it's adorable, but it's not good. It's just cute. You know the difference between a good movie and a cute movie. So I was like, that's a fun one for the family. If you're having family movie night, that's a good one to watch.
Right on.
The twin movie that I loved when I was like a kid was Big Business with Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Love that movie. It's hysterical. It's great. But the movie that I like now that kind of is in the same realm as this one, not quite. It's a scary movie, but it's something else, is The Forest, where the sister goes into the suicide forest in Japan and the other sister knows she's not dead. She feels it and she flies all the way from America to Japan to look for her sister.
I've never seen this movie.
Oh, you should watch it, because then she goes into the forest looking with her sister for her sister, and her sister didn't go into the forest to commit suicide or to do any of the any of the things that are said. She's actually taken in there by a guy who lures her from a bar. So he's like a serial killer, and he hides her in the suicide forest and he's going to kill her. And then he goes back to the bar and runs into her sister who's looking for it. And he's like, oh shit, she looks like the girl that I took. So he leads her into the forest. And when all things is said and done, some of the whole chemistry of the suicide forest takes into effect, and the sister who comes from America sacrifices herself to save her twin. She sacrifices herself to the forest.
I totally understand that. Marlon would totally sacrifice himself for me.
Oh, sweetie, no, he wouldn't.
Yes,
you
he
would
would
sacrifice yourself for him.
No, I would. No, we don't. No, I would not.
You know what he would say? He'd go, I got a tomahawk on my living room wall and a couple of guns. I'm gonna go home and get those and come back and get you. That's what he would say. I mean, he wouldn't leave you there to die.
Better not.
He wouldn't sacrifice.
Look at this face. I'm adorable.
He would come back and he would rescue. He would be the hero.
For sure.
Alrighty. So did you have anything else you wanted to say, add, otherwise?
No. So my category.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about you. My bad.
It's okay. We've been drinking. It's fine.
I know.
I don't understand how you forgot about me. I'm amazing.
And you're looking me right in the face.
Yeah. So my question is, what is your favorite movie with an imaginary friend?
I didn't even have to think about this. It came to my mind. When it came to my mind, I fucking went and watched it because it's so fucking good. It is Drop Dead Fred.
I love that movie so much. It's so good. It's so good. I love that movie.
If you have not seen it, you must go and watch it.
You have to. It's so good. It still holds up.
All of your friends. It's amazing. I could spend a whole hour just going through that.
We should do that movie for an episode. We really should.
We could do the old format of where we recap the entire movie, because I would love that, and talk about all the amazing stuff in it, because it's that amazing of a movie.
Yeah, we could. I love that movie. I could talk about that movie all the time. But like I love everything about that movie. I love the mom. I love Carrie Fisher in that movie. Makes me so happy.
Yes.
I just, I just love everything. It's so good. It's so good.
So great. I just can't. When I saw that before I had children, and every time my children got an imaginary friend, I seriously was like, your imaginary friend is not as cool as Fred. I imagined you would have a drop dead Fred. Like,
right.
I was very disappointed.
Right on.
Don't worry, I'm gonna put an earpiece in Izzy's ear in the next time I see her, and I'm gonna just feed Drop Dead Fred lines to her. So
all right, whatever, weirdo. Anyways. Yeah, no, I love that movie. It's so good. I'm your fella, Isabella. Love it. I love it so much.
I just always loved when she was talking to Fred and people would walk into the room and she looked like she was talking to herself.
Right. And I love the song he sings when he's putting dog crap all over her mom's. It's like dog poo, lucky like a dog poo, pull up the side, pull up there, yucky, smelly dog poo. So good.
She's running around like, no, Fred, stop it, Fred. Like, it's great. I love Drop Dead Fred. That is
for sure. I could talk about that movie all day, every day.
It just makes me so happy. There's no bad thought that comes to my mind at all.
Right on.
All right. So do you have anything else you would like to add?
I have nothing else that I want to say.
All righty. So that is it. We're going to wrap it up from there, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod. We are also going to be posting this video on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe and like at youtube.com BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And we will talk to you next time. Remember to recap, review, and repeat.
Bye, you guys.